Bogle.
Man, I wasn't hoping to start this podcast like that, but this isn't Bogle. This is What You Think, coming at you live
Isaac's
from your mom's basement. I'm with my ever so charming co-host, Jason Smith.
Hey.
My ever so harming co-host, Josh Quinn.
Why is it always painful?
And my ever so peeing co-host, Isaac Sagafis. Can you yell? He's peeing. Yeah, so I just got my wisdom teeth out last week, so I'm actually not drinking. I'm on heavy pharmaceuticals right now for that. But these guys are drinking. What you guys drinking over there?
Dude, we got some High Life going on, some hams. No pickle beer this time.
We got some Pecatonica beer.
Isaac, what you drinking over there? I guess I'm having a little bit of brandy, but that's more medicinal than anything. I think Jason brought us a story this week. Jason, take her away because I can't talk much because my mouth hurts.
Yep, so we got another one from back home.
Is that Canada or?
Just right up there across Lake Superior. So.
I had to ask that because Isaac's searching for beer pretty maniacally.
Isaac, I will get it for you. Just sit down.
He was indeed promised App 12 for this.
Tell her there's no App 12 in the fridge.
He doesn't think there's App 12 in the fridge.
There's no App 12?
We have a App 12, and I will get it for Isaac.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
All right. But back in the far northern reaches of Michigan, where Lake Superior carves its icy winds across the Keweenaw Peninsula, there lies a landscape shaped by copper.
Copper alloy or copper? Copper.
Actually, believe it or
Yeah.
not, the copper up there is some of like the purest. It shows up in almost native form up there. So unlike a lot of places where it's alloyed into other things or they have to do a lot of refining to get
Are
it
they
out.
still mining copper there?
Not so much right now.
I mean, you could go pick up copper.
Yeah, float copper you can find
Yeah.
all over the place up there. So
That's
Isaac got his App 12. So for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the native people mined copper there. The nice thing with it, the geography up there, pure copper basically just exists near the surface. Or if anything, you might just have to do a little bit of digging. Sometimes they would like light fires, then pour water on it to crack the like rocks and all that. And that's how they would kind of get to the copper.
So,
Pour water on it to crack the rocks?
So they would
Yeah.
light a fire on it first to heat it up, and then they'd pour water on it to like
What were the
cool it.
rocks made out of?
It's just like
Copper.
igneous rock.
so
Limestone?
is this
Basalt.
this is obviously post Ice Age glaciers?
Yeah.
Is the reason it's so close to the surface because of the glaciers, or it just happens to be a complete anomaly?
It's more of an anomaly. It might have scraped off a ton of the topsoil. Like up there, it's not exactly the best for growing stuff. Like the growing season's really short. The soil's really rocky. But otherwise, some App 12.
But like,
It's App 12 day.
so there's no like weird like old volcanic.
Yes, there is.
Okay, so that's probably why.
Exactly. There's an old rift there from...
So why aren't they still mining it, though, is my question.
We'll kind of get into that. Some
I'm
of it
sorry.
is the area is really not as accessible. It's a bit remote. They have some areas where they've like shipped it out and everything like that, but there's a lot of like other cultural stuff where like after the 1900s, a lot of the companies and everything just kind of left.
They ran out of
Jason,
miners.
Do they not have cars in Michigan? Or what am I missing
believe
here?
it or not, in Michigan, in the lower
They're
part,
still using horses?
well, up in the UP at that time, there were a lot of horses, but otherwise down in Detroit, we love our cars. But otherwise, after the whole Toledo War thing, when the UP got granted to Michigan, they realized...
Stolen from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Well, actually, if you go into the history of the Michigan territory, Wisconsin belonged to Michigan. So, like, don't even go there.
Yeah, but then they realized that we're pretty cool.
You guys are a mitten. Like,
And-
you don't even count.
You keep our tops warm.
No, that's the hat. They're a mitten and a hat. You guys are just winter clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got cold winters.
You better
Isn't,
watch
isn't
it.
Wisconsin also shaped like a glove?
No,
I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh,
not really.
you better
What?
watch it or you're going to
We
be our
are more
loincloth.
glove-like than...
Hey, he's going to be our
Than Michigan.
loincloth, Josh. That's what he is.
Anyways, they got all this land and realized we have to kind of see what's up there. So
It's a glove
they
with
did
a
a bunch
pointy
of...
finger.
No, it doesn't.
That's
It,
like a glove
it
with the
has
pointy finger.
broken hand.
It's just like this.
Yeah, it's a drunk person's hand.
So they sent a bunch of like mineral expeditions up there to see like what was up there. And some of them ended up realizing like, hey, none of our compasses work here on the very far west end. Believe it or not, there's a ton of iron out there. They
Alien
ended up going
rocks.
to the very northern part of the Keweenaw where it kind of sticks into Lake Superior. And they were able to find just a ton of copper. So the state geologist up from Michigan, who is another one of those like barber, doctor, surgeon,
Dr. Barber?
geologist. Yeah, like
Not Dr.
everything.
Barber from critically acclaimed show Misadventures of Flapjack.
Oh,
But he surveyed the region, and after that is about when the copper rush really began. He had a report in 1841 that described ores of superior quality, easily processed, and that
Is that a-
basically just lit
is that a
fires for
pun?
everybody. No, but that's funny. I don't remember if it was like.
Jason.
Ores of superior quality?
I mean,
Jason.
it was 99% pure.
What year was this again? I'm sorry.
So
1818.
1841 is when he had his expedition and had his final report. That's like,
Are they
There's-
so they're not mining it? Like, California Gold Rush, they're
Yeah.
remining those sites because they missed so much gold. Are they doing the same thing up
not yet.
I think
there? But let's
some of
not
it,
yet, he said. Let's go, Ty.
right, but some of it with the gold has to do with the price of gold right now,
Yeah.
which is
Copper's still low.
Copper
It's-
is,
But-
it's easier to just like strip it out of a house and then it is to
I'll
go.
strip
like,
or a
gold
flock
about it.
camera.
or a flock camera.
Yeah.
Strip them for gold.
Gold and platinum in there.
I mean, what?
So
There's more. Remember, everybody, there's more platinum in a flock camera than there is in a catalytic converter.
And for all you tweakers
He
out
just-
there, there's copper in your veins.
They're
And
just
it's in
saying
your
that.
skin.
They're saying
Dig
that
it
because
out.
they're sick of their catalytic converters getting stolen out their rigs.
hey now.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
By the early 20th century, the copper country had become America's first major copper mining district. So like they had the gold rush and tons of like big iron areas. Their big thing was copper. So there were three companies that really dominated all the production in the area. The Calumet and Hecla mines, the Quincy Mine Company, and the Copper Range Company.
Two of those words he made up.
I believed
There
every
were-
one of them.
There were a lot of names in there.
Jason, I believe you. You're my mom.
So the Keweenaw quickly became
What?
the heart of America's industrial mining frontier, and there was a lot of wealth to be had, but with that, wealth for, especially the shareholders and CEOs and everything of those mining companies,
So they didn't pay
They
the
have-
miners?
not
We never
really,
pay
but that
miners,
was
buddy.
very common
You
throughout
can't
all
pay them.
this.
It's not legal.
Oh,
For the people that were in the mines, there was a lot of hardship. Ultimately, like we'll get into like a little bit of the rise of the copper country, some of like why there were a bunch of strikes, and ultimately the Italian Hall disaster that kind of marked the end of all of it up there.
Strike.
I actually
Were
have
they union?
another question,
Yeah.
and this can be a completely separate episode, but are you going into the ancient missing copper hypothesis at all?
That was not what I was going into.
Okay, we'll do a follow-up episode on this
What
because
do you
I
mean?
think it
Now I'm
deserves.
intrigued. What is he talking about?
I have a second follow-up question.
Oh, great.
How Irish and or Welsh were they?
So a little bit of that. There
Did they
was a
drink
ton of
Guinness?
Cornish, Finnish, Italians, Croatians, and Slovenians.
You're saying they were from Iowa? They're
No
Cornish?
Irish.
Not a ton.
They
but
like
there
corn a
was-
lot.
Just the Irish weren't as much for like mining so much as like you get like Cornish
much
and
as
a
just
bunch of
drinking.
Finns and Swedes, because the winters up there were terrible, but it was kind of like they were in Scandinavia. So
And
Okay,
they were in caves anyway, so who the
Yeah,
fuck cares?
exactly.
Isaac and I went to a cave once,
The cave one.
Maybe?
the salt mine.
That was a pretty deep.
I know you guys went to Cave of the
I
Mountains
didn't
for
like
your
that
third.
elevator leaving there.
I know
No.
you guys went to Cave of the Mountains for your third grade field trip.
Did we actually?
Yeah,
But anyway,
I like that place.
I think you were in my
Uh,
group with Alyssa Jansen's mom.
I've never been there. I was supposed to go on the third grade
You've
field.
never been there?
No, I was
Actually,
supposed to.
really cool.
I was supposed to go for the third grade field trip, but it rained like a foot in like 2 days, and then
Right?
they
Well, this
canceled
isn't a podcast about the
Yeah.
Cave of the Mountains.
all
Yeah.
right.
Not yet.
And you also haven't progressed past
So,
the third grade, Josh. So I think you're still okay to go there.
By the 1860s, the Keweenaw Peninsula was booming. Mines like the Calumet and Hecla became some of the most profitable in the world. Copper from the Keweenaw basically went through all of America's cities because that was right around the time when electricity started becoming prevalent everywhere. So anything from like telegraph lines, wiring inside of houses, all sorts of industrial like explosion, like expansion explosion kind of things going on.
So you're saying if Nikola Tesla got his way, Upper Michigan would still be poor as shit?
Well, they need a lot of copper for his Tesla coils, so
Okay.
we would still be in it. But the thing, though,
Yeah, but
like
if
I was
Edison got
saying
his way, we
before,
wouldn't have fucking power right now. So
That is also true. Oh,
True.
shit, I brought up power. Isaac, it's okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
but either way, the prosperity was not really shared like we were saying before. The miners worked like 10 to 12 hours a day underground in a really dangerous, poorly ventilated shafts. Injuries were really common, and there is probably on average
Shafts.
about one miner a week who died up there. Most of them ended up being immigrants, like I was saying before, Cornish, Finnish, Italian, lots of like the Balkan area, like Eastern European folk.
Where are Cornish people from?
Isn't it
England.
like England?
Yeah, it's like
Cornwall.
the very
Yeah.
I
like
think of Cornish Gingham.
shore.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, that's
in
correct.
English.
That's actually right.
yeah. It's like the southwest part. They did a lot of like tin mining and stuff
It's the
like
opposite
that.
side of the Welsh.
Corn-ish.
Yes, Isaac.
Cornwall.
Yes.
But they're
Corn
corn,
light.
but ish. Whereas
But-
Iowa is full corn.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
corn-ish.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Isaac, I'm going to blow your mind right now.
I don't want that.
They called things corn before corn actually showed up from South America. So like wheat and barley and stuff were also referred to as corn before.
Because they weren't as educated as us because we had the Indians.
Yes.
Yes.
But anyway.
Wow, we're smart.
A lot of them came trying to seek opportunity, but really found themselves in like a very like rigid company town type structure. So the companies owned almost all the housing. They owned the stores, all the politics, like that kind of stuff, like you would hear in like Appalachian, like
So coal
West
miners, but
Virginia.
worse because it's cold.
exactly. And
But
above
there's
all,
not as much dust, right? So it might not be as.
there's still a decent amount down
Is there?
there.
Okay.
And between like once you dig it out, you like have to, because it's pure, you don't have to process it a lot. So they would just like smash it all up into like that's how you get like the stamp sands and everything.
Oh,
really?
so
And
they do like we're going to turn big rocks into little rocks so we can
Yeah.
sell them easier.
So from that, like that's why they have like all the stamp sand piles all over like the UP that are like causing like issues and everything nowadays.
Because they're
But
leaching out all the copper sulfide and everything else.
more or less, or it's like shifting into like the normal reefs and stuff up there. It's, I don't know, it's a mess.
Did
but
they eat
either way.
pasties for lunch?
Oh yeah, they did.
They actually do really love pasty.
yeah,
No, I know that.
That's a minor. That's
Yeah,
also a
that's
miner's treat.
they're
Yeah.
like huge up there. Like
Yeah,
there's-
I know, Jason. That's why.
I know, I love pasties.
Oh,
They're
that's so
great.
good.
Okay,
Rutabaga.
Jason, what is your three favorite pasty ingredients?
Don't
So-
fuck this up. Oh, I mean, shit. Tyler's Tyler's sober bird dogging this
So-
right now, and he is not
Yeah.
impressed. He's
I
like,
would
"Is this what we
say
always sound like?"
probably like pork, potatoes, rutabaga.
High five, Jason! He said rutabaga. That's all I needed to hear.
Dude, that is the
They
best
said
thing in the
if you don't get a
pasty.
rutabaga, you ain't getting a real pasty. baby.
Jason only says that because he knows I don't put rutabaga in my pasties.
Yeah. it's
Okay,
'cause
this
he
isn't a
says-
cooking show.
Yeah.
Josh, you got us off
It's cultural.
2 or 3 times. You can have your own podcast
I
after
like
this.
it. I like how Tyler is just on it.
The main thing about the companies, though, like above all, they resisted any form of organized labor. Workers had little bargaining power. Wages were really low. The conditions
union.
were terrible.
But you said they were
And-
striking.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet. And the
Oh, I'm
companies
sorry.
refused to recognize unions. And there had been like tensions building for a long, long time. Once you kind of get into the 1900s, that's really where like the tensions start almost reaching like their peak.
Boiling.
So there was some new technology introduced at the time. The biggest one was like a
Guns.
pneumatic drill that could be operated by one man. Typically before you would have to work in pairs with the old kind of drills that they would do to get everything out.
Is there a
So-
John Henry character for the copper mines there?
Is
Do
he
they have a
short?
folk hero?
Is he
I
short
don't
and
know
Cornish?
about a, say, like, guy with the drill other than, like, say, the one on the Widowmaker, which is also what they nicknamed the one.
That's probably a really safe job.
But
Yeah, that's clearly the
There-
I'm a
safest job.
widowmaker. Are
there
you married?
was, like, I forgot what her nickname was, like, Big Ann or something like that. But she was, like,
She was the widow?
Sounds
No.
like a typical Michiganite.
she was, like, I don't know, like 6 foot, like either like 2, 3.
Oh, so it was
4,
big.
like,
She wasn't just wide, Ann.
I
She was
wasn't
big, Ann.
during
Oh
all
my
of
God.
like the protests and the strikes and everything, like she became like really prominent, not only because she was like tall as hell, but she would be out there just with an American flag that was like 12 feet long and everything.
Well, back then, being 6 foot was impressive,
Dude,
but being a
Dude,
6 foot
this-
chick,
yeah.
A 6
So,
foot
like,
chick surrounded by
She
5'8"
would be
dudes.
the one like leading a
mess
lot
with
of like the people out there carrying the flag and everything. So like
You're
maybe
telling
not a John Henry, but a very big
You're
icon
telling
of all of that.
the UP miners had like a human flagpole that they
Well,
brought
the
everywhere they
pasties are
went?
very nutritious and
They
everything
are.
a growing boy needs. So they're
And
very
That sounds
good.
good. Only, hey. Oh, never mind. This is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Sorry. You
Either
can't
way.
get full alcohol beer up there in the stores, so that's weird.
Well, yeah.
Did they do that
it's-
back then?
Maybe not back then.
Probably not.
But either way, going back to the one-man pneumatic drill, they did call it a widowmaker because it was a little bit more dangerous. They would really only have one person running it. So normally you just like work in pairs. So like if somebody got hurt, the other person could help them out. But the main thing was like with only one man running it, they're like, we need half the people now. So they were kind of like threatening like
Sounds like
layoffs and everything
current
along
job
those
markets.
lines.
So they had an air,
Nothing's changed.
they had an air compressor powered drill that ripped people apart, and they're like, it's a good idea to leave this person alone.
Yep. Yeah. People are disposable. There were a
That
lot
drill
of
was $40.
He lived to be
Hey, go
25.
somebody to go
That
get
was
it.
a good life.
But there were a lot of wage disputes. So miners were paid by like the contract system, meaning that pay really just depended on how much rock they were able to extract, not how dangerous or difficult the work was. So if you're
As a
working,
group or as a
Ru-
person?
Wait, hold
It was
on.
kind
that
of like
one
his,
guy.
like, it was
with
like almost as a group.
Important,
you'd be
on a
important
team.
question. Rock or ore?
Rock.
So it doesn't matter if it's good or not, as long as they're moving yardage, it works.
Yeah, or does it have to have something in it?
What I was seeing was rock, but I'm pretty
It's
sure
probably-
like, if you weren't hitting ore veins and everything,
That makes sense. It has to have something in it.
I mean,
Yeah.
but you do have to move the rock to get to the ore vein, so it makes
Yeah.
sense to.
But
count
Tyler,
it
they
all.
might not have been that rational back then, babe.
But either way, it's
True.
kind of, you might hit some like conglomerate that's less structurally stable and a lot of stuff could like collapse and everything. So it's rough.
Call
Oh,
Big
they were
Ann, her
tunnel
husband
mines?
died.
Yeah, they were tunnel mines. Not
I don't like that. I like stripping.
other things that kind of help raise tensions, like there were a lot of ethnic divisions. So like I was saying, going between those different groups, like certain ones would kind of get certain jobs.
I hate the
Or
Cornish
like
as
if
well.
you were a hiring
Scots
manager,
and
like,
the
you
We
don't
don't have to
kind
worry
of-
about that anymore, Jason. We're all
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
a melting
included.
pot now.
We're inclusive now.
And another big thing was like out west, there was a union group called the Western Federation of Miners that ended up having a very lot of success with strikes, some kind of like more radical leaning ideas too, and things like
Did
that.
any
How
of them
many
use
like,
bombs?
violence?
How many people did they blow up?
We're not
did
going to
any-
get into that. That's a later.
Violence!
But it's not, wait, hold on. So it's not zero.
Not zero.
It might be
Okay,
outside
that's
of
the
our
right thing to do.
There
territory.
may have been some like
We'll
I
have to
forgot if
call
they were,
the,
like, the
hey
mining
man,
wars
what do you
or
think
stuff
about
like
this
that out there,
crew?
but
Nice
Okay.
shot.
you know, in like Idaho, Colorado, and all that. But they had a bunch of wins for the workers, and they started seeing that, hey, there's a lot of stuff in Michigan, so they started kind of like going into that area too. So it
But
all
it's
kind
all,
of boiled
it's all
to a
upper
point.
Michigan, right?
Yes,
Like
all
Lower
in the
Michigan
UP.
doesn't really have.
They have some mines down there, but really not as much as like up in the UP and all that.
They have more yourses.
Yeah.
They don't have mines, they have yourses.
Yeah.
Man, what's mine is yours?
Yeses.
No, they don't share down there.
Once it got to
They just
July
take-
of 1913, after years of frustration and the unions kind of setting in, the miners finally decided to vote to strike. So there were about 15,000 miners that were employed up there. 9,000 of them walked off the job.
Miners with an ER.
That's really good.
Yeah,
That's
So,
really good.
that's really good.
That's a huge strike.
So there were a lot of things with their demands that they wanted: recognition of the union, shorter workday, better safety standards, fair wage, end of the one-man drill. And they just asked that the other companies come to the table to talk. And they said, if you guys don't
So-
come to the table to even to discuss.
So
That's
when you say
exactly what we're
when you say
going through.
shorter workday, it's probably like
yeah, what
14 hours down to 12.
yeah,
Still
basically.
longer
But
than
if
we're
they
used to.
if they're paid by the yardage they're moving, does that matter?
But it's like, what if you just want more per yard and then you spend some extra time with the family? So it's like you're still making the same, but you get more.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is it that too? Like,
You know, so it's like some of that. The company's response,
go
especially
fuck yourself.
Lightning bolt.
basically.
Lightning bolt.
the Calumet and Hecla mines and some of like the.
So there was really
like,
only one thing
scabs.
that would cost the company money was,
Not mining.
well, a little bit shorter day, which was less money for them, and paying them a little more. But the rest of us, like, hey, buddy, we just want to be safe. And
Yeah,
have another,
yeah.
if I get my arms
But
blown
that
off,
costs
I want someone
money too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
true.
because if
I mean,
you
you
have
have
two
a
people,
single guy dying every day,
Every week.
or every week.
basically.
Yeah.
If Kevin could revive him, and he
but
could
you
keep
have a
working.
spare, but you have
Huh?
a spare guy because you're only one man per drill instead of two man per drill.
But either way, just have a buddy.
But you can't afford more drills. They're more
Exactly. Somebody's got to build those drills. They make the people for free.
But either way, the companies brought in strike breakers, private security. They
So the
deputized guards.
Pinkertons?
And the state militia actually ended up getting involved because, like,
Are
they
you
were,
telling me the Michigan state government tried to suppress the rights of the worker?
they were there to, and I'm using air quotes here, keep the peace.
So how many
There was
workers?
no peace.
How many workers did they shoot?
Well, there were a lot of shootings.
What kind of guns did they have?
So
Did they have
tensions
30-30s?
escalated, clashes occurred on the picket lines, homes were raided, union halls were attacked. There were a lot of violent incidents, including shootings. So there was stuff where it was like people were accused of like, hey, you crossed
You're a
the picket
scab.
line and everything.
Scam!
And like they were shot. But then there were other ones where it was like, people were trying to drum up union votes, like, hey, like, we're all friends trying to do the same thing. And then they would like send people in to like beat the shit out
You
of them,
didn't cross
basically.
the line
You could
enough.
just like shoot each other and beat each other up for no reason back then.
But all this
I
started
mean,
in
it was kind of a
July,
big. It was their whole livelihood
Yeah.
back then.
But it still is.
and
We just suppress it.
they're just no longer
we just
getting
don't
money, too.
shoot people anymore for doing
Well,
bad things.
We don't shoot people.
We hire lawyers.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's expensive.
I
But
know.
either way, like
Bullets
all
are
of
cheap.
this kind of things just like further and further like made the
Then
divide
you hire-
between the
Can we-
groups.
Then you hire lawyers.
I mean, bullets are cheaper.
So
than
the strike ended up dragging on for months, and as winter kind of approached, people are running out of money, and it's just like families are just struggling. The Women's Auxiliary of the like Western Federation of Miners, they figured like, hey, it's getting around Christmas. They got a bunch of funds together, and we're like,
We're going to
like,
throw a party.
exactly, we're gonna have a big party.
Pizza
get presents
party.
for
yeah,
all
what
the
does party
kids, and
consist of back then?
He did say there was Italians, so this could
Was
actually
there
be a
pizza?
pizza party.
I don't know if there is pizza, but so
Did they have
remember how
Peroni?
probably.
Italian beer. Come on, Peroni.
So
But they
like,
definitely had
Talk to me.
pasties.
Talk to me.
like how I said how there are all those like different ethnic groups. Usually each one of them like in their like towns would have like, oh, this is the Italian hall or the Cornish hall or the Finnish hall, where it would just be, all of like the Finnish people would come and hang out, do your Finnish stuff.
Community
together,
gatherings.
whatever.
And your Cornish
Yeah,
shit.
eat
Make
lupins
some
together.
corn.
and,
We
Lepsa.
eat 10 pounds of saltfish. That
you
is
know,
the way.
They drank a case of long
We ate
drink.
a
and,
slab of venison. Josh would know better than them.
Yeah,
More
but
or
we didn't
less.
organize it. That's just what I had.
We're better.
The main thing was like they were just like, hey, a lot of these families are cold and hungry. It's Christmas. Like, let's get everything together as a community. And it's like not just like the Italians at the Italian hall. Like anybody, like all the families, like let's all get together, hang out, and celebrate Christmas. So there were like hundreds of people, parents, union members, and altogether almost like 400 kids in the hall that were just there, celebrate Christmas. It's supposed to be a good time. Something to note about like the building and everything like that, building codes weren't exactly what they used to be, or I guess what they are now.
It had a crematory in it.
We made one 1-foot door, and the whole inside of the building is
So,
open fireplaces.
A lot of the party ended up happening on the second floor. There's a very steep staircase that was the only way up.
Of course.
There's a very
convenient.
poorly marked fire escape on one side of the building, and the ladders.
It's
that-
not
to
a
go
fire
down
escape.
it,
It's just
you
a
had
window
to-
that opens.
You had to climb out the window to get to that ladder. So
Seems legit to me.
It is just the window that opens. There's just a ladder
Yeah,
leading against
so-
it.
Made out of wood
ultimately,
that's on
it ended
fire.
up at some point while everyone's having a good time, there's celebrations. Somebody and witnesses later claimed that it was a man wearing like the button of the anti-union group that the Calumet Hecla mines, like
A
kind of were
Freemason.
drumming up. I don't know about that.
Whoa!
Whoa. But the witnesses say
Different
that they
episode.
saw a guy walk in and just start yelling fire.
He was probably warning people.
There was no fire.
Oh, it was a squish.
Yes.
Was it a squash,
So-
though?
It was a
In an
crunch.
instant, the
Oh,
entire
no.
place started to panic. The hall was crowded. The stairway was too narrow. Everybody tries going down it. People surged toward the exit, and children were knocked down. Adults fell on top of them, and just people kept falling and falling. The doors opened up inward instead of outward. So it was like
So
And this
everybody
is
was-
how long before the Great White Concert
this.
that burned everybody alive?
This
Seriously,
was
they should
one
have
of
learned
the
a lesson.
things that like really started putting a push towards like big public things, like certain,
Doors got to open
Yeah.
out.
yeah, things like that.
Stairs got to be wide.
At the end of it, like the whole crush became very deadly. There were 73 people who died,
And there wasn't
Jesus
actually anything wrong.
Christ.
nothing was wrong.
No
They're
fire.
Someone was
Some-
just being a drunk asshole.
73
and
people
yelled.
got trampled
Well,
to death.
73 people died, and 58 of them were kids.
Oh.
Miners.
Yeah.
Miners.
So
They would have been good in the mine one
imagine
day.
like Christmas Eve, you're hanging there with your family and all your buddies, and then
You're getting your face stomped in the fucking...
Jason,
Yeah.
this isn't a fun story. Why are we talking about this?
Jason, I'm sad now.
it still was or still is the deadliest civilian disaster in all of Michigan history, and it was like
Upper and lower?
yes, and it was
Whoa.
almost in all of American history up until you started getting some of those like crazy like
The guy that blew up the school and all that
like,
stuff.
Things
Too
like
bad.
that.
Too bad everybody was wearing their Christmas cleats that day.
But
I want my
there's
stomping
a lot
shoes
of
that Santa brought me.
controversy about what ended up happening. So a lot of the witnesses claimed in the panic that it was the deliberately triggered. Yeah, it's talking's hard, man. By anti-union operatives. So nobody was ever actually charged because nobody could really identify what happened. It was all just kind of like, this is kind of what I saw. A lot of the people there
You guys just some
they-
dude just holding a beer.
didn't primarily like speak English. So a lot of these like ethnic groups, like if they primarily only spoke Finnish and very broken English. So people who interviewed them and everything, they would ask them questions in English.
Herdy furdy birdy
Not
fire.
really be able to
Herdy
answer
herdy
just due to,
crunch crunch crunch.
And there were just no follow-ups after that.
Hmm.
So the Citizens Alliance, which was that anti-union organization, they were really widely accused of intimidation throughout the entire strike. So that's why a lot of people believe that they were primarily the ones responsible for the false alarm. They denied involvement,
I mean,
of course.
Did we not get their license plate?
of the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah. What color was the
That
horse's
horse's
ass?
asshole was 3 inches in
And-
diameter.
So
Isaac would know
there was
just
just
by
a
looking.
whole lot of stuff about
I
whether,
can't feel that.
like, who did what. Was it, who
Yeah.
worked for the company too, and like just all that kind of stuff.
No security
So-
cameras, I'm sure.
Exactly, not back then.
What a shame.
So
There wasn't a
all
guy
of that
drawing.
Christmas, there were just
What did it say on TikTok?
funeral
Josh?
processions and just like
Maybe.
caskets lined up all over the streets of like people like building them and trying to like bury their loved ones and
Jeez.
everything. So it kind of just ruined the entire kind of like
Movement.
exactly.
Foul.
But also around that time, the president of the Western Federation of Miners was
George
out
Bush.
there trying to drum up support. He actually got shot and then thrown on a train like out of town. So
I'll run
Get
you out of
the
town on a
fuck
rail.
outta
They
here.
shot him. You out of town on a rail.
Wait, okay. Question. So they shot him, and while he
Was he
was still
alive?
bleeding, they threw him on a train.
yes.
With
Oh
the
my
doctor?
God.
With the doctor or without?
I think he did end up living, but either
That's
way,
fair.
it's still like
Hey, get out
It
of
wasn't
here.
like
No
he
further
got
questions.
so it wasn't like he got shot, realized that was a decent sign, and then got in a train to
Yeah,
with a
leave.
bunch of hobos with
they
fucking...
shot him.
They're
put
poking
him on
his
a
hole.
train that was going out of town, and just like it left.
They probably went to Yorkshire Terrier.
So basically, after all that, just the whole strike collapsed. People are demoralized. They need money. And a lot of the miners return to work without union recognition.
Sounds like Tyler and his gambling
The-
habits.
Oh, man.
Demoralized, he needs money, so he gambles.
And
And
he
wins.
wins.
the entire area, though, just kind of like, I don't know, the vibes just became just like terrible up
Sick.
there the entire way. And that kind of like started like the big decline of like, after that, it's like mines started closing down because
So there's no more American dream
exactly.
working in the UP
Yeah.
copper mines.
So let's just... give
So
up.
it quickly, like the hall itself became just a symbol of like the whole like labor suppression, like stepped on by the companies.
So that's still there? The hall's still... Oh,
Not
sorry.
really anymore. So it kind of like hush hush was demolished around like 1984. There's like the main archway that like everybody like died under is like still there, but it's like an empty lot.
Yeah,
with
let's keep
that
the place
arch
where the
there.
guys died at.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
messed up.
but are you going to be the one who goes and be like, I'm going to tear down the child stomping arch?
I would have kept the whole building
Yeah.
because I'm
And-
a boy.
And everyone's just like, there's just a whole sour vibe around the whole thing.
Not in your passy. There ain't
Land-
no sour passies, baby.
Land's gone south.
But
But you know what? There is sour? Half alcohol beer. Why'd they do that, Jason?
Oh, well, all I know is the,
Only in the grocery stores.
yeah.
Mormons.
But the liquor stores, you can still get full alcohol beers.
Non-Mormons?
Yeah.
Just the way it goes.
What's
Well,
that?
Jason, do you have much left of the story? Or?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
so- you
what
wanna
I
give
was
me a
gonna
hug?
do was when it came to who yelled fire and all that, like, what you guys think?
That's what I was going to ask. So,
no,
yeah.
sure.
We'll start with Isaac first because he's chomping at the
Okay,
bit.
I'm going to live with you. I have no idea what he was talking about. But I do like pasties. And I think you shouldn't enforce child labor. And if they were on strike and a building burned down, shame on you, Jason. Next question, Tom.
All I got
That
to
wasn't that
Who
wasn't
yelled fire, Isaac?
That wasn't actually too far.
I already said next.
Okay,
question.
Josh, what do you think?
I'm a little torn. Like, if this tragedy clearly happened, and everybody would want to blame somebody who's not from the community, and I understand that. But also, at this time, there was a ton of union busting going on, and this was a time when unions were really fighting for the little man, and they were actively just like gunning people down in the streets. So I really wouldn't put it past a dude to just show up and start yelling fire at the Christmas party just to screw with these people. And then it just turned into a horrible tragedy.
Drunk asshole.
Yeah,
not even meaning
So
it.
is that what you think?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed that
And
part.
we're back to Isaac.
I thought we were talking about the alcohol.
All right,
just drunk asshole.
Jason, what do you think?
I think if Isaac's ever up there, he should go to Tony's Kitchen in Lorem, which is right by Calumet, where the Italian Hall was.
Is that by Iron Mountain?
No, it's way north of there.
Yeah, I haven't been there then.
Arguably, and everyone's got their hot take on this, some of my favorite pasties in the entire UP right there.
What about Iron Mountain, bro?
Hey, remember, we're not a cooker.
I know.
What do you think about this, Jason?
Either way, I also do think that it was like a union busting thing. Like, it definitely seems like something if you do a lot more digging into the strike itself, like what the companies and the
Pinkertons would do it.
We're doing. So I definitely am still one of the people that believes it was a guy with the Citizens Alliance.
How many
screaming
times
fire.
have you heard a hot track? Not us, because we're civilized adults, and someone will yell fire because it's hot track. So
No.
yelling fire.
But it's
No.
like,
Maybe they did that back
you
then.
don't do that
No.
in a theater. Like, that's like straight up illegal.
They're probably
now.
playing like John Bon Jovi back then, you know?
I mean, I disagree with what Isaac said right then, but I actually agree with, I don't necessarily know if it was a union busting thing or it was just some drunk asshole yelling, right? Or like, there's all these people that don't speak English there. Is there another word that's close to fire in another language that sounds like hi?
Beer, please.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know Slovenian.
It could have been like a weird, someone could have yelled like something like that
And someone could have misheard it.
and misheard it, and it just people started freaking out. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. What I do know is that I'm on a lot of pain medication.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sober Tyler agrees more with Isaac than drunk Tyler.
Yeah,
Which
so
is weird.
I'm on a lot of medication right now, and I'm just sipping on a brandy, all prescription, especially the brandy.
Yeah, the brandy.
We're drinking Pecatonica beer. We have Ab12. We have Hams. We have High Life. We have Old Style. We have John Daly's drink, right? Good boy.
Long drink.
Or no, long drink.
No.
Same shit. This is Up What You Think.
Oh, what you think?
Shit.